Are you having trouble getting back into your regular routine after having been on vacation or vacation for a week or more? I've got some tips for you after my weekly goals in my MäksēLife planner, so stay tuned. Hello, this is Katie from Crafting Ruby Dreams, and welcome to my channel where I talk about planners, goal setting, writing, publishing, and getting right with my finances. Today I am sharing my weekly goals for week 24 in my MäksēLife planner, and I am so excited to share these with you after having been off for a week. Last week and getting ready for last week was a bit of a grind as I was working towards the next phase of my major stretch goal for the year, which was moving apartments. I did get the keys to my new apartment as well as move in almost everything that was in storage. There were some bumps in the road which made things interesting, and I may have had a little bit of a freak out at one point, but with my mom's help I was able to get myself quickly back on track, and we were able to accomplish pretty much everything that we had planned to accomplish during that trip. The real bonus though was the surprise balcony. I was not expecting to have a balcony with this particular unit as it was not on any of the floor plans that were provided to me. Having a balcony or patio is mentioned in the lease, but that is fairly standard language, so I still was not really expecting one. One of the hiccups was getting the money in the right form for the management company. I thought I was all squared away up until we were at the leasing office and I was ready to hand over the check, and I realized it was made out to the wrong person. Yay! So we were able to quickly readjust and get a corrected form of payment so that I was able to move in with no other issues. When I opened the door to the apartment, the very first thing I saw was the fact that I had this balcony patio that I wasn't expecting. I have a post up on my Instagram talking about it. I hope you will check that out. I am there as @CraftingRubyDreams, same as here. There were some things that I had intended to do last week that I just didn't get around to accomplishing, and I'm trying not to rake myself over the coals about it because there is only so much time in the day. The fact that these things have to do with both self-care and personal development is why it's kind of like, oh, I wish I had actually done that. But it's still, there is only so much time in the day. And since those two things are high priority for me, they have continued on into this week's weekly intentions. So let's move on to week 24 in the MäksēLife planner. The focus words that I chose for this week for each area of life are the same focus words that I chose for the annual goals for the year. These are words that help redirect me back into what I am trying to accomplish for this year in each area of life. And so when I'm feeling otherwise lost, these are great words for me to just fall back on. So if you're ever feeling lost, go back to the beginning. Look at how you started. If that still fits and resonates with you, then go from there. For the personal area of life, my focus word is joy, and what I want to focus on for this is to get started on some memory planning of last week, because there was a lot of stuff that was going on that I really want to reflect on and frankly need to reflect on. I also want to work on some weekly planning for next week as well as the next few weeks to see if I can get ahead and figure out what my time is going to be over the next few weeks. I really want to get in some meditation sessions on the Peloton app. I have access to those, and this is one of the things that I did not get around to doing last week, even though that was the one thing that was my goal for the personal area of life. This is something that I really need to do for myself because it's stressful for me right now, and I need to respect that and do my best to make things as easy for me as possible. For the fun and recreation area of life, my focus statement is wonder, and I want to read fiction specifically. I didn't write fiction in, but that is what I meant, for 30 minutes. Again, keeping it fairly simple. I know I can hit 30 minutes fairly easily, whether that is in one shot or over a few days. It's just something that I want to get myself back into the habit of doing. And the other thing I want to do is review my leave time for the rest of 2021, both to get an idea as to how much time I have left as well as how much time am I going to need for various things over the next 6 or so months. For the work and learning area of life, my focus statement is growth. And the tasks that I'm trying to do with regards to that is to post to Instagram at least 3 times. This is going to be a combination of posts, stories, and possibly a reel if I have enough time and brain space over the course of this week. The reel, I have a feeling if it's going to happen at all, will happen this weekend. I also want to produce 2 YouTube videos, which I think is pretty possible, but we will see what the demands are of the day job as well as a few other things. The next task is something for the day job, and as I am filming this, it is already done. Yay! I love when I can check things off. And the 4th task is more day job work. It is a higher priority for me, even though it's last on the list. I generally do not put day job tasks into my MäksēLife because what I do is relatively rote, but at the same time, this is something that I really wanted to focus on getting done. So having it here in the planner means that the priority is higher for me and something that I really need to focus on. The focus word for the family and relationships area of life is memories, and the tasks related to this are to get all the birthday cards sent out that I still have to send out, as well as taking my one nephew to his hockey practice. The focus word for the health and wellness area of life is resilience. The tasks for this are to attend my weekly therapy appointment because, oh man, do I need it, as well as make a list of the appointments that are needed with my various doctors through the end of this year. It has been a while since I've seen any of my doctors since I have been in Chicago, so once I get back to DC full-time, I need to hit the ground running with that, and there are some things that I need to talk to my medical doctor about with some recent changes in family history. For the spiritual and personal growth area of life, the focus word is exploration, and I basically have 3 calls that are in this area of life, as well as doing some background work for Club Moxie. I have my monthly strengths mastermind with 3 of my friends who we all attended a conference together last year, and it has been a really great supportive group. We have great conversations, and as I'm filming this, we've already had this call, and I am always glad to be with them, and I'm looking forward to our call next month. The next 2 calls are happening tomorrow, Tuesday, as I film this. It is Monday, and we will see if I can fully attend the first one because I may have a work meeting during that time period, and if that's the case, that's the case. The next call is later in the afternoon, and I will be taking off early from the day job to attend that one. The 4th task for this area of life is to work on the June challenge for Club Moxie because the first 2 weeks of this month were too packed with other things, and I have not had the time or mental energy to spend on this work. This is work that I really want to do and really want to give my best self to. So I am looking forward to spending more time working on this as things clear up for me. For the financial area of life, the focused word is abundance because I am trying to build a mindset of abundance. My 2 tasks for this are to reconcile my spending log and get everything up to date with that and pay my credit cards. The 8th area of life is physical environment, and the focus word for this is peace. It feels a bit anticlimactic after having moved into the new apartment last week, but now that I'm back in Chicago, I need to do some cleanup things related to having packed everything that I took out to DC with me and didn't quite put away everything that I decided to keep here in Chicago. So I want to get everything tidied up as well as do laundry from the trip and get everything sorted with that and put away. If possible, as I'm going through what I have left here in Chicago, I also want to see if I can weed anything. If I can, great. And if not, I have another chance to do that before I leave again in August. After having been off for a full week and not really truly having vacation time where I was able to sit and rest and let myself go because I was working on getting myself moved in, there was anxiety involved. We had a bit of a road trip to see a place that my mom and I have been wanting to see for a number of years. And after that, we road tripped again to see family. And the day after we arrived in that city, I actually left and flew back to Chicago. So it has been an extremely busy week for me, and I then had to jump right back into getting stuff done for the day job. So you may be thinking, how on earth do I get back into my regular routines? I will say I am not back there yet because today's work schedule and tomorrow's work schedule are a bit up in the air because of various things demanding my time. When you're faced with that kind of pressure, the first thing you need to do is assess what your priorities are. What is it that is non-negotiable that you absolutely must get done, or you must attend either meeting or some other appointment? What is the absolute required thing of you? I actually have a video plan to help you assess your goals and give you a mental visualization exercise that I think you're really going to be interested in. So if that is your bag, hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified for when that video comes available. After you've assessed your priorities and you have your must-dos and your like-to-dos, the next step is to time block. If you do not want to use your planner to do this and you need basically something in draft form, just get a blank piece of paper, figure out how many days you need to do this for, and divide the sheet of paper into that many days. You write down your hard appointments on the appropriate days, and then you figure out what time you have available around those appointments. The third step is to communicate. You have to communicate with the people that you share your day-to-day life with, your work colleagues, your boss, anybody that you may have appointments with, that you are doing your best and that you are going to try to get things done, but you may need a little extra time in order to get them done. Set up realistic expectations both for yourself as well as for those people who may be impacted by what you can and cannot get done. I know communication is not always the easiest, but it is so key to being able to manage others' expectations when you are out of sorts and you are still trying to get yourself back into your routine, because some things may drop. And that's okay. But if somebody else is counting on it and you do not communicate to them that you may not be able to get done what they are expecting of you, that's going to be a problem. So communicate with them ahead of time and you can save yourself a lot of headaches. I truly appreciate you choosing to spend your time with me today. If you have found anything in this video useful, I hope you will hit that like button so that YouTube knows to recommend this video to others. On either side of my face, you will see my face that you can click to subscribe and a couple of videos that I think you might be interested in. Thanks so much for joining me, and may all your dreams be Ruby dreams. Bye-bye.